Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and we're going to talk about the dangers of multiples as it is illustrated in Bong Joon-ho's brilliant Mickey 17. Alright, so Bong Joon-ho's brilliant Mickey 17 perfectly illustrates the different types of humans, players, and player characters. Well, let's start from the beginning. Nadja is a human. She was never, by the way, sorry. Spoilers for Mickey 17 here. Okay. So Nadja is a human. Was never printed. Okay. That's a person who never played Dungeons and Dragons. Starport Mickey is the original. Okay. The originator. That's a person who plays Dungeons and Dragons and creates a player character. Mickey 1 is the Inception, okay, the Inceptor, right? The Inceptor is the first Dungeons & Dragons character made, okay? Mickey 17 is an expendable. This would be like, let's say, Garroth, the Gnome Bard, all right? That is an expendable. So Mickey 17 is an expendable. Now Mickey 18 is a multiple. And that means Mickey 17, it was printed. Mickey 17 should have died, but rather than Mickey 17 dying, Mickey 18 comes out. He's then a multiple, okay? So I'm going to talk about multiples as Dungeons & Dragons characters. This is when you create yourself to play in a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. So I'm Scott Garibay. I sit down at the table with my Dungeon Master, Sally. She begins to Dungeon Master, and she says, "Okay, Forgotten Realms is a setting." And then Deborah next to me says, "Okay, I'm going to make Garroth the Gnome Bard," and I say, "I'm going to make Scott Garibay." And then Sally goes, "Yes, your name is Scott Garibay. What is your character going to be?" My character is going to be Scott Garibay. I'm Scott Garibay, the player. This is Scott Garibay, the player character. That's a multiple. And then Sally goes, wait, why are you doing that? Because the Hasbro, the Dungeons and Dragons design team is telling me with every single released adventure at this point that that's what we should do. Every single 2024 core rulebooks adventure published to this point is saying, make you in the Forgotten Realms, right? I should make myself there. Wait, how are they telling you that, Scott? With Hold Back the Dead, with Uni and the Lost Horn, and with Scions of Elemental Evil. Every single one of them uses the 1983 Saturday morning cartoon characters. They are not expendables. They're not regular Dungeons & Dragons characters. They are themselves the players who are put into the world of Dungeons & Dragons and are playing as themselves. And the design team is saying, do this. Skip these expendables. Anybody running bog standard, I'm going to run an elf fighter. They're like, no. Get rid of that noise. Just run yourself in the Forgotten Realms, right? And Sally goes, well, this looks a little dangerous. Sally is right. This is outrageously dangerous, okay? Literally, there's been a group that was formed to stop this. It was Mothers Against Dungeons & Dragons. It was in the early 80s, and they were terrified of exactly this. They were like, we're afraid our kids are going to get confused and think that they're in the world of Dungeons & Dragons. And almost as though he was trolling them, Gary Gygax was like, oh, I know you mothers are really terrified that your kids will get lost in the world of Dungeons & Dragons. Why don't I make a Saturday morning cartoon where your kids get lost in the realms of Dungeons & Dragons, and they literally can't escape it. And they never escape it. Almost like your nightmare, almost like your living hell come true. That's fascinating, isn't it? Yes, it is fascinating. Why did he do that, right? Well, because he wanted to encourage this. Gary Gygax was like, I know you need to play these expendables for the first 50 years because you won't be comfortable playing yourself. But the design team is like, okay, the first 50 years is done. Let's take the veil down, right? Let's take the curtain that we used to not be able to go behind because it was too dangerous. Let's cut that down. right? We're all going to go into the special space, right? Scott Garibay, the player, Scott Garibay, the player character. Do you follow it? Are you following? Now in the movie, Bong Joon-ho's movie, multiples are destroyed, right? If there's ever a point where this happens, Mickey 17 and Mickey 18, the protocol is to kill them both. To kill them both, because it was so dangerous. Why was it dangerous in Bong Joon-ho's movie? Well, this was a religious group that went to these interstellar settlers are a religious group, and they're like, hey, there's only one soul. If you put if you put two vessels and one soul, it's going to tear the soul. That's outrageously dangerous, right? Now, what is the danger in Dungeons and Dragons? It's innumerable. It is innumerable. There are so many dangerous elements, okay? I could go into great detail on each one of these, but I'm just going to start to list them. Who is the hero, right? I'm Scott Garibay. I've never been in a war. I've never fought anything, right? But as soon as I go into the Forgotten Realms, I can kill a green dragon, right? If I kill a green dragon and I become the hero of Phandalin, am I a hero? Is Scott Garibay a hero because I actually am a hero? And the only reason that I'm not a hero in the IRL is I've never had an opportunity to. There's never been a war that needed me, right? There's never been a single war. There's never been a boot on the ground in America, right? I'm not a hero because I haven't needed to be a hero, right? And then when I become a hero in Dungeons and Dragons, who's the real Scott Garibay? Phandalin hero Scott Garibay, or regular Muggle non-hero Scott Garibay in the IRL, right? I don't know. There's confusion, right? The other thing is, if I begin to build, I have my own sets of memory, sensation, experience, emotions, right? Emotions, memory, and experience. I have my own, emotions, memory, sensations. I have my own set. But once I create Scott Garibay in the Forgotten Realms, that's another set. Once I create Scott Garibay in Greyhawk, that's another set. Once I create once I create in the Dungeons and Dragons setting of Thunder Junction, that's another set. Once I create Scott Garibay in another Dungeons and Dragons setting, Lego City, that's another set of emotions, sensations, and memories, right? Now I have 12 different sets of emotions, sensations, and memories. Do those start to bleed together, right? Am I pouring myself into these vessels and I'm less of my real self in the IRL, right? Or is it the exact opposite? Now that I'm actually folding memory, sensations, and emotions over and over and over, is this the Katana Scott Garibay? And I'm more human than you are because I have folded my emotions, my sensations, and my memories, right? And I folded them, banged them in, and I folded them, and I banged them in, and my edge is sharper than yours, right? And now I'm hyperhuman. I'm more human than human, right? So this is dangerous. This is outrageously dangerous. Outrageously dangerous, right? And that's powerful and exciting. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Absolutely nothing more, absolutely nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.